Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel with you here on your latest forecast on a Thursday. Most of us are going to be dry today. Some impacts with some fog and then mostly sunny skies. Again, a breather of what's turning out to be a quite active summer for us with multiple rounds of these showers and storms. A lot of us in the state are going to be still recovering from that recent up to extreme rainfall event and all those swaths of damaging winds, all the water rescues, and looking at all the water levels in streams and rivers today too, they're all below action stage as of this morning after the moderate to major to some locally historic flooding that occurred. So may still be some water rescues ongoing today. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Look in on folks as there may still be some issues with flooding after that recent round of some extreme rain that impacted the state. Fly-saver forecast, it starts at home. Charlotte, flood watch there today, high of 80. Some areas of eastern North Carolina will have a moderate risk of excessive rain down there today for flash flooding. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a quiet weather day today, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s and mid to upper 50s overnight tonight. Eastern Panhandle, highs approaching 80. A lot of upper 70s here. A quiet weather day today. Up in the high elevations, highs near 70. Lows in the ranks of the 50s and quiet tonight. Across central and northern areas of the state, again, maybe a long recovery from all the up to historic river flooding that occurred, again, locally in some of our streams and rivers impacting some of our communities. We are dry today and tonight. Be mindful of some fog. And down to the south, there is a slight chance of some light to moderate rain showers down in southeastern areas, 72 in Bluefield, 81 in Huntington. For the weekend, we are generally dry, mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Slight chance of a shower Saturday. More likely chances of rain in the long term, Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
We have continuing coverage on the response and recovery efforts to flooding in central West Virginia, plus 2 tornadoes confirmed in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This is Metro News Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. Gang's all here. Ethan Collins, our audio producer, running the video stream this morning. Intern Mila under the supervision of Jake Link. Coming up today, much more on the response and recovery efforts underway in central West Virginia, where torrential rains on Tuesday produced significant flooding in Upshur and Lewis counties. Governor Morrissey is holding a news conference this hour. We'll get caught up on that a little bit later with Jeff Jenkins. Also, Brad McElhinny will stop by this morning. There are multiple calls for a member of the House of Delegates to resign after charges were filed in federal court. We'll get into that story coming up in just a little bit. Say good morning, TJ Meadows in the Charleston studios. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir.
The flood recovery and response efforts continue. The waters have receded in Buchanan and Weston, and now the cleanup efforts can get underway. Joining us this morning is the County Commission President in Upshur County, Christy Tenney. Christy, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. How are things to get the day started today?
So today we still do have search and rescue teams out, but we have been starting to move into our cleanup and recovery phase. There's so many families, of course, facing a long road ahead, but we're trying to make some progress here and focus on really connecting the people with the resources that they need and coordinating that debris removal and helping those residents begin to figure out how they can start in rebuilding and getting that cleanup done.
Christy, you noted search and recovery. Are people unaccounted for?
At this time, we are still, yes, in looking for a few individuals that are unaccounted for.
Christy, is the damage in the county, is it concentrated more in one location than another? Where are some of the hardest hit areas in Upshur County?
Most of the hardest hit areas are really in our downtown, but we have our police force today on the ground covering the whole entire county to see what damage has been done now that the water has resided and been taken back.
Are there any areas specifically in Buchanan? We had some photos as late as yesterday afternoon that still had significant flooding in the streets. People flooded into their homes. Has all of that water dissipated now?
Most all of that, yes. But there is still right there in the downtown area some of the water that still resides.
Christy Tenney is joining us this morning, Upshur County Commission President. So search and rescue efforts continue this morning, but as the cleanup process gets underway, what will be the priority moving forward?
Really, we are working with the National Guard. They have been amazing. We are so grateful for Governor Morrissey and the National Guard. Our state agencies have been a huge help here in Upshur and Lewis County. And really all the counties from around the state have jumped in to help to volunteer to see where's needed. So just getting that debris removal, getting cleaning supplies, getting volunteers where they're needed, making sure those families know what resources are available. Just trying to remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
When you take a look at the damage and you hear stories from residents that are affected, paint the picture a bit, Christy, if you can, the inside of homes. I'm imagining mud that needs to be mucked out, drywall that may need removing. What types of activities need to happen inside people's homes and businesses?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to volunteer and help with 8 Days of Hope when Ohio County had their flooding several months ago, and it's devastating. And it's devastating, of course, in your hometown, in your community. But you also see the very best in your community and your state coming together and setting aside everything to help one another. It truly gives you hope for the days ahead, but they've lost everything. And just giving them that reassurance that we are here for you, we're here to help you, and giving them comfort in this time.
Christy Tenney is joining us, Upshur County Commission President. Search and rescue operations continue in central West Virginia this morning. Cleanup operations getting underway as well. Can you now get in and out of most areas? That was a problem yesterday in Upshur County. How is the situation as far as roads goes today?
Yes, you can get in and out of most areas today.
So being able to reach someone who may need help, not an issue. We'd heard stories yesterday of ambulances. I know there's a Health Net story out, ground transport not being able to reach people. You feel pretty good about accessibility then if someone picks up the phone and needs help.
Yes.
Talking to Christy Tenney, Upshur County Commission President. Where can residents take trash and debris? Do you have designated areas yet?
We are working on that today. So our National Guard, if they can put those in bags, they're setting them out. The National Guard will come along and pick those up. We have a location where that is being taken. You, of course, can go to our waste department, but you do have to pay for that. So that if you want those free services, you need to put your trash debris along the side of the road, and we do have our National Guard taking care of that for us.
Christy, talk a bit about first responders in this situation. You know, we were all able, in today's world, you're able to listen to the scanner traffic and you hear what is happening. There was a plan. You could hear it. This had been, I don't want to say rehearsed, but practiced. You could tell that there was a plan that was being put into place. Talk about what goes into that and the kind of people that you have there in the county that are acting as your first responders.
It has truly been a team effort. It is just amazing to see everyone work together between the city and the county, our emergency management director, all of the different agencies that came to Upshur County to help, every first responder, our state agencies, all those community partners coming together and working along side by side, really just for one goal, to help the residents. And you never want this in your community. You never want to see this, but it is a blessing to be able to work together. That's what West Virginia is about. You know, that's why I love this state and I love our community, because when we see our neighbors in need, we're there to help each other. So we're very blessed to have that here, not only in Upshur County, but throughout the state. And I just cannot thank our state officials and our county and municipalities enough around the state that have jumped in to see what we need and to help us.
Christy, you were on the volunteer side. You went up to Ohio County last year during the flooding to help out the people there. Now you're on the other side of being the county where people are coming to help. What kind of emotions are you going through now having seen this kind of an event from both sides of that spectrum?
Definitely a lot of prayer. You know, it tests your community. But again, you know, it reminds you of who we are here in West Virginia, and we take care of each other. And the commission just would love to thank everybody for their help, their donations that's coming in, and the offering to volunteer, but prayers are really needed. But it is heartbreaking to see individuals lose everything and just be there as a hope and a comfort to them. No one ever wants to see that in their hometown, right?
Do you have any news or instructions for people when it would come potentially to FEMA funding for recovery? As cleanup is happening, any steps that folks should be undertaking in order to make sure that they qualify for FEMA if it is indeed granted?
So where we're at right now with that is we have a survey that our sheriff of Upshur County, along with deputies, and he has volunteers out going today as boots are on the ground, taking it to those homes, assessing what they need, and having them fill out that survey, which will help us in turn to be able to get those FEMA dollars back to our community. So we've just really started that process. We started sharing that information last night on socials, but we are boots on the ground today. So be looking for us. We're going to help you fill out that survey. We're going to help you get what you need.
Hey, Christy, for volunteers who may be coming in from outside the area, is there a central check-in location or some type of organization to help get volunteers to the areas they are needed most?
So, yes, our OEM director is really designating and in charge of that, but people are always welcome to reach out to me. I can help them filter where that needs to go, and my number is 304-439-4698, and it is available on our Upshur County Commission website along with my email. So I can help you get to those individuals that will place you where they're needed to be.
Christy Tenney, Upshur County Commission President. Christy, thank you for the update this morning. And I know everybody's got thoughts and prayers. Wishing you all the best there in Central West Virginia this morning.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Coming up, we'll get another update. Alex Weiderspeil tried to get to Upshur County yesterday. Roads were blocked. He is headed back that direction. He'll check in with us in the second hour. Also, Bryan Hughes will stop by. We'll put a wrap on the weather get some official numbers, and 2 tornadoes were confirmed over in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Up next, though, there are calls for a member of the West Virginia House of Delegates to resign. Why? Brad McElhinny will explain. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
West Virginia's grid is old, overloaded, and falling behind. That means fewer jobs, less investment, and a future we can't afford to risk. Marl is the fix. A modern transmission line that strengthens reliability, attracts manufacturing, and puts West Virginians to work. Investment here, jobs here, a more reliable, stronger grid right here. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields and Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Bricado. See the players and programs shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes, bottom of the hour. There are multiple calls for a member of the West Virginia House of Delegates to resign. House Speaker Roger Hanshaw, State GOP Chairman Josh Holstein are among those. The delegate in question is Fayette County Delegate Elliot Pritt, who was charged yesterday with enticement of a minor, made his initial court appearance for a U.S. magistrate. These are federal charges against Pritt, who is a school teacher being accused of trying to seduce a 15-year-old girl. Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny has been following this story. He joins us on Metro News Talkline. Brad, good morning. Thanks for joining us. These charges filed in federal court. What exactly is Delegate Pritt accused of?
Well, it's federal because Delegate Pritt is accused of initially using online platforms, which go across wireless technology, cell towers. So he was using the online game Roblox and then Snapchat to communicate with this underage girl. And over a period of time, the last couple of years, the allegation is that he began communicating with her, talking about his private life, and then first asking for and then exchanging explicit photographs with an 8th grader. Then building to meeting up with her, according to the allegation, in his classroom at Oak Hill High School, and engaging in sexual acts. So a pretty explicit criminal complaint, shocking allegations about someone who is in the public trust, both in his position as a teacher and in his elected position in the House of Delegates. And as you alluded, many members of Delegate Pritt's own party and the legislature pretty quickly called for him to resign. That includes House Speaker Roger Hanshaw, a fellow Republican, who said what Elliot Pritt is accused of doing is shocking, disgusting, and disappointing in every way.
Brad, do we know if Pritt is still in federal custody? That may or may not allow him to resign or forward a resignation. What do we know of his whereabouts this morning and what happens next?
It appears he is still listed on the Carter County Detention Center site, and that's Kentucky. But, it's within the region because this case is federal and because he's been handled by U.S. Marshals. I think it may be a contractual thing where they've got a relationship with the Carter County Detention Center. This was an initial appearance yesterday before a federal magistrate judge, but he is scheduled for an initial appearance in court on Monday, 2:00. And at that point, he may plead one way or another. And also we'll go through other sets of circumstances, like, do you understand what you're being accused of? Some more questions about whether he should be held, whether he may be eligible for bond. It does appear that he currently is eligible for a public defender. So those sort of preliminary issues are taking place in the court system with the next appearance on Monday. As you alluded, I am not sure in jail, to what degree he may even be aware of all these calls for him to resign. Don't know if he has access to a computer to compose a resignation letter. Unclear if he has pencil, paper, or stamps. So there could be some lag time on him reacting to the calls for resignation.
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny joining us with details on the allegations against Republican Fayette County Delegate Elliot Pritt, accused of seducing a 15-year-old girl over the internet. Brad, there's some political implications here depending on how this plays out, because he's in the House. Every member of the House is up for election in November. Do we have clarification yet? If Pritt were to resign, how can the Republican Party handle that seat?
Yeah, pursuing clarification on that. And, my initial understanding is it may depend on the number of days in the calendar. And I have not quite gotten there. There is a Democratic opponent, I believe, for that seat. So the voters will have a choice. Of note, Elliot Pritt was elected to that position in Fayette County because it followed on the heels of a political scandal, sexual harassment claims against Austin Haynes, who had been the incumbent around 2022. It's been an uphill battle for Democrats to win in West Virginia, but Elliot Pritt did win in that cycle as a Democrat up against Austin Haynes, the incumbent, who was hit with a scandal himself at the time. And then Elliot Pritt switched to becoming a Republican, which is what he is today.
Brad, talk about the disappointing, disgraceful, whatever adjective you want to use, irony in Pritt last session, closing night, standing up and making a plea regarding Rayleigh's Law.
Well, the hypocrisy is thick. So one of the concepts behind Rayleigh's Law, the policy proposes if there is an ongoing a pending child abuse or neglect investigation, then parents or guardians could not remove a student from the public school and take them out into homeschooling right away. There will be a hold on removing students. one of the ideas is that educators are mandatory reporters. They are legally required to report suspected abuse and neglect. So the philosophical underpinning is that if you were in an unsafe situation at home, you would at least have the eyes on you of educators who are mandatory reporters. Among the most emotional and consistent supporters of this policy on the last night of the legislative session was Elliot Pritt, who was begging his colleagues to get this policy up for a vote, to pass it, to stop some roadblocks. And, in retrospect, just all kinds of ironic things that he said, including, quote, "We have an opportunity here tonight to do something to protect children."
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny. He has the story detailed over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Brad, we appreciate it. Thanks for the details.
Hey, thanks.
Coming up, Bryan Hughes is going to join us. MetroNews meteorologist will get a recap of where the floodwaters got to yesterday. Also, not one, but two tornadoes confirmed by the National Weather Service in Pleasants County on Tuesday. Bryan will join us coming up a little bit later on how you can help out. We'll get some information from the American Red Cross. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 800-765-8255. Text us 304-TALK-304. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel with you here on your latest forecast on a Thursday. Most of us are going to be dry today. Some impacts with some fog and then mostly sunny skies. Again, a breather of what's turning out to be a quite active summer for us with multiple rounds of these showers and storms. A lot of us in the state are going to be still recovering from that recent up to extreme rainfall event and all those swaths of damaging winds, all the water rescues, and looking at all the water levels in streams and rivers today too, they're all below action stage as of this morning after the moderate to major to some locally historic flooding that occurred. So may still be some water rescues ongoing today. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Look in on folks, as there may still be some issues with flooding after that recent round of some extreme rain that impacted the state. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Charlotte, flood watch there today, high of 80. Some areas of eastern North Carolina will have a moderate risk of excessive rain down there today for flash flooding. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a quiet weather day today, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s and mid to upper 50s overnight tonight. Eastern Panhandle, highs approaching 80. A lot of upper 70s here. Quiet weather day today. Up in the high elevations, highs near 70. Lows in the ranks, the 50s, and quiet tonight. Across central and northern areas of the state, again, maybe a long recovery from all the up to historic river flooding that occurred, again, locally in some of our streams and rivers impacting some of our communities. We are dry today and tonight. Be mindful of some fog. And down to the south, there is a slight chance of some light to moderate rain showers down in southeastern areas, 72 in Bluefield, 81 in Huntington. For the weekend, we are generally dry, mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Slight chance of a shower Saturday. More likely chances of rain in the long term, Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigado. See the players and program shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Coming up, we'll get you some information on how you can help out with the flood response and recovery efforts in Upshur and Lewis counties. They're cleaning up in Pleasant County as well from tornadoes on Tuesday. Agnes Queen, the Lewis County Commission President, going to join us at 11:06 this morning. We'll hear from the American Red Cross coming up about 10 minutes from now. Hopefully, this man has got a little bit of sleep in the last 24 hours or so. MetroNews meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us once again. Bryan, good morning. Did you get some rest?
Not really. I was up till midnight last night because I had to do some work on Fox. So
yes.
Busy night.
What is it Sam Elliott says? You'll sleep when you're dead?
Exactly. Yes, that'll be that happens. It'll be a long time from now.
All right, let's start over in my neck of the woods, Bryan. We were talking yesterday. Everybody who saw the damage on the ground, you'd seen the radar, said, yep, looks like there was tornadoes, and the National Weather Service confirmed not one but two.
And not only that, we just have confirmation that was going to, at least one of those is an EF2 tornado. So that's going to be one of the stronger tornadoes, probably in Pleasant County. We'll try and get some base numbers as for how many EF2 tornadoes have been reported ever in Pleasant County and also into Washington County. But we do know there were a pair of them. We saw them, the pair on radar. I mean, it was fairly evident. They have witnessed that. But now they're going to have to do another survey probably tomorrow, and that's going to be deeper into Pleasant County to find how far the tornado went.
Give us some context on that. I saw pictures of former Senator Donna Boley's house destroyed.
Yes.
How severe EF2? Give us some context there.
So EF2 tornado, you're generally looking at when you have EF0, EF1, that's going to do some minor damage. EF2 starts to rip roofs off entirely, and on much older structures, it can actually collapse those structures. EF2 can. When you get to EF3, EF4, that's when you're looking at EF3 is where you're going to have full newer structures that start to collapse with roofs removed. EF4 is structures completely collapse. EF5 is when you have foundations are the only thing that are left. So that's kind of where we're at. Older structures, again, you can have the roof ripped off at EF2 and partial collapse of the structure itself.
What kind of wind speed are we talking there?
Generally
speaking.
Yeah, generally speaking, you're looking at 150 mile per hour winds would be around EF2. But there are, and let me explain a little bit about the Fujita scale. First of all, it was developed in Lubbock, Texas by Dr. Ted Fujita. And what it looks at is the structure, and it takes into account how the structure was built, things of that nature. Because that was built, that was from the 1970 tornado back in Lubbock, Texas, where it was an EF5. There are brand new, housing foundations, the whole 9 yards. How you build houses, entirely new compared to 1970. So they took that, redid it all back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and became the enhanced Fujita scale. So it takes into account how buildings are constructed and how things will fall apart when encountering the wind. So the wind is variable, and we are going to measure that by the radar. But generally speaking, we know I'll tell you this. I can walk up to a structure that has been hit by a tornado, and I can tell you probably exactly what kind of tornado it was. So there are surveys that are happening today, and they are in Lewis and Upshur counties. Let me get this specifically because they just sent us a note and said that the surveys today are going to be, just get to that note here specifically. They are happening in Lewis, Barber, and Upshur counties today. So, because we did have tornadic thunderstorm that was moving through Lewis and into Upshur County. Of all things, you had the flash flooding, but before that, you had the tornadic winds that were moving through. And we did see along the leading edge of that line, we saw spin-ups that were happening. We do believe there will be an official number, and then we will go back and look at the radar, and we'll tell you that we're probably an approximate number of tornadoes. I think there's probably going to be 8 in total because we did have Pendleton County that was confirmed yesterday. So we have at least 3 confirmed. I think we're probably going to end up with around 8 across the state.
Wow.
Confirmed, or at least close to that number. And then we'll go back and review the radar, and then we'll say, okay, there's approximately, might have been 10, 12 tornadoes in total.
Let's transition to the cresting of rivers. That was something that was key on your mind yesterday. Give us an update.
So the Buchanan River at Buchanan is it's now below action stage, so it's not at any sort of flood stage, but it is way high. It is at 18 feet. Now, mind you, action stage is when which is 21 feet. That's where we say, okay, it's time to start tying things down, getting things prepared. 18 feet. It normally runs at about 5 feet. The river does. So we're about 13 feet above where it normally sits on just a normal summer day. But we do expect that to fall rapidly as we head into this afternoon. Matter of fact, by this evening and tonight, it should be around 6-7 feet. So there's going to be dramatic drops today, but all that's going to reveal is more the silting and just the nastiness of what we saw the video yesterday. People you hear, they're just scraping all that mud away. And that's a lot of what's happening this morning and this afternoon. I have a friend of mine who is working security detail up there, and he said, this is a mess. He said, this is a bigger mess than what we saw in some cases on the Elk River many years ago.
MetroNews meteorologist Bryan Hughes. How unusual was this entire system, Bryan, from St. Mary's to Weston on into Barber? How unusual was this system?
Well, when you compare it to what happens like in the Great Plains, you generally have a tornadic thunderstorm that moves through, and you might get a thunderstorm on the backside that's a little bit further behind it that'll help just kind of wash some things away, and then things move along. But here across Appalachia, and especially what we had the other day was you had the training thunderstorms, but the training never stopped. I mean, if you were to draw the line you just draw a line from Zanesville, Ohio, back to about Elkins, and that was the length of this travel of this thunderstorm complex. And at one time there were thunderstorms almost along that entire line. That's just incredible and impressive. And by the way, I was last night with Ari Sarsolari on Fox. He and I were talking, and we did the true extrapolation. I told you that it was probably a 1 in 2,000 year flood. Well, once we got specific numbers from the National Weather Service, it was 129 minutes worth of rain that was up to 7 inches of rain in total. So when you look at that if you were to do the true math and extrapolate it, that's a flood one time in every 179,000 years. That's the true extrapolation of the math. Now they do say anything beyond 1,000 you can't compare. You can't add any of that up. But that's what we're looking at.
Those numbers are hard to really get your arms around in thinking about. But when you think of West Virginia, I mean, the flooding, obviously not maybe as significant as what you're talking about with this comparison, but talk about just Captain Obvious here, our topography and how that limits us versus if a storm like this with this kind of volume was in a plain state that would be able to take it. Talk about flood mitigation. I mean, how many times do we get hit until we start talking seriously more about flood mitigation efforts as a way to deter these outcomes?
A classic area is going to be down across southeast Kentucky in Pike County, where they finally, the federal government said, we are no longer paying for you to stay here. If we're going to pay for it, you're going to move, and you're going to move up. And they've moved entire communities down across parts of southeast Kentucky. West Virginia, they've tried. West Virginia is a very, very stubborn group of people. We are who we are. We want to live where we want to live, and don't tell us we can't live here anymore. But that's the only way that you're going to have people that are not going to be impacted by. Now, you can't help every single valley. But you do your best that you possibly can. But what we have here, the difference, and I explained this last night, was that the difference between the 2016 floods and the floods that we've had over the last couple of days is that 2016 was the Elk, which has hardly any damming system whatsoever. I mean, you've just got Sutton Lake, and that's it. Everything else is just straight wash all the way down. But you have flood control that, and same thing with the Greenbrier River. There's hardly any flood control on it whatsoever. But those two in 2016, you had just came down the valley, just washed everything away immediately. You have more flood mitigation that happens and flood control back up there as you get up into Buchanan, to Clarksburg. You have the dam and lake system that is helping to control some of those things. So you are able to better control it. But what happens here is, guess what? Right now, you're watching the slow fall of some of these rivers versus the immediate. Here it goes. Katie, bar the door. Fast, furious, and it's done.
MetroNews statewide. I was going to name me Brad McElhinny. What are you?
Well,
You're a
can call me
meteorologist.
Yes.
MetroNews meteorologist Bryan Hughes. Bryan, always appreciate the context and perspective. Thank you, buddy.
You're more than welcome.
Coming up, we'll get information on how you can help out. We will check in with the American Red Cross a little bit later. Lewis County Commission President Agnes will join us in the second hour of the program. Also expecting Governor Morrissey to address the media later on this hour with updates on the flood response and recovery efforts. More coming up. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Back in a moment.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Metro News reporter Alex Weiderspeil is headed toward Upshur County this morning. Tried to get down there yesterday, couldn't get through. Some of the roads were blocked. We're hoping to get a report from him coming up in the second hour. Also, we'll talk to Lewis County Commission President Agnes Queen. Right now, let's welcome to the program Jeffery Hornyak. He is Development Officer for the American Red Cross of West Virginia. Jeffery, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you all for having me today.
Appreciate you coming on. So how is the Red Cross responding to the flood recovery efforts in central West Virginia today?
Sure. So the American Red Cross disaster teams have been out there since the storm hit. On Tuesday night, we had opened 3 shelters. Currently, we're seeing those shelter populations dwindle down, which is trending in a positive direction. On Tuesday night, we had a shelter population of over 100 people. And then last night, as the water began to recede and folks were able to find their way safely home to assess, what their living conditions were going to be like, we had a shelter population of about 4 people, and we have 1 shelter currently open. That's at the Church of the Nazarene.
As your mission, or I should say, as those populations dwindle, how does your mission change at the Red Cross? What will be your focus moving forward now?
Yeah, that's a great question, TJ. So, a disaster operation goes through many phases. It's meeting that immediate basic need, and that's sheltering, food, any real needs to keep our community safe. So as we see those shelter populations fall down, we start turning the operation into damage assessment. And we really work with our community partners, the emergency managers in Lewis and Upshur County, especially with the flood relief efforts there, have been fantastic to support our teams. But we really look at the damage assessment. We have teams looking at making sure folks are being fed, immediate needs are met. We have cleanup kits on our damage assessment teams for folks that maybe just flag us down and say, hey, we need some supplies, and we're mobile going through the communities, assessing what damage and then what further needs are for those families that have been directly impacted.
Talking to Jeffery Hornyak, he's development officer for the American Red Cross West Virginia. Jeffrey, a lot of people want to help. West Virginia always has a strong response helping out folks in their time of need. How can people help?
Sure. So one way, the best way I think folks can help is if they're able to make a financial donation to the American Red Cross. We're partnering with you all, so thank you all for this amazing opportunity. We're going to be putting a landing page site to be able to give to disaster relief. Your local chapters, so those West Virginians that are in the affected areas, but maybe you're not directly impacted personally and you want to find a direct way that you can help, support your local Red Cross chapter through that dropdown. And then we're also going to have a where it's needed most selection that throughout this disaster relief operation, our mission doesn't stop at the American Red Cross when we have severe storms and flooding happening. We respond to home fires every day. We collect life-saving blood, which we're in a blood shortage right now. So if the financial donation isn't the best route, you can raise a sleeve. Find a blood drive nearby to you at redcrossblood.org. Raise that sleeve, give the gift of life. That's another way that you can support our efforts, because when we see these severe storms and flooding impacts, it doesn't just directly impact the people, it impacts our local healthcare infrastructures as well. So there's multiple ways for people to get involved. And I've learned of a couple drop site locations. The Red Cross does not collect supplies. Financial donations are the best way you can support our mission, but we do have community partners that have 2 drop sites in Upshur County and 1 in Lewis County if you're looking at making an item donation. But I think the biggest takeaway is the financial donation. We'll have that landing page. We're coordinating with you all at West Virginia Radio Corps to have that on your webpage and streamed out to your listeners and viewers.
Jeffrey, we think of the Red Cross, and sometimes we only think of the Red Cross when something bad happens. But you noted that you all are always working. Talk about that machine. Talk about your practice and how you're able to stand up a response so quickly.
Absolutely. So it's the preparedness side of our mission. It's the prepare, respond, recover. That's kind of the cycle we look at responding to disasters and being prepared. And it starts with our community partnerships. It starts with those emergency managers. It starts with those local state officials. It continues to evolve we have Red Cross volunteers throughout our state and our Central Appalachia region that when the whistle goes up and we see a huge storm that came through and ripped across our region, in those unaffected areas, trained Red Cross volunteers heed that action to come in and stand up a shelter very quickly. We're able to provide supplies to partner organizations and agencies that maybe say, hey, we can get a shelter going. We just need cots, blankets, food, and we lean on community partnerships. It's the West Virginia way. We all work together in tandem. And I think that's a great message to be seen. And I've been seeing it throughout the past 48 hours of this disaster relief operation, of all the people asking, how can we help? How can we support?
We will have a link up at wvmetronews.com to the fundraiser with the American Red Cross. That is coming soon, I'm told, Jeffrey. For
We're working
folks,
on it.
where can folks go in, right now if they want to help out?
If they want to help out right now, I would guide everyone to our regional website. It's www.redcrossorg/car. You can find a way to give financially on that website. You can find a way to give the gift of life of a blood donation, or if you're motivated and want to get boots on the ground and get trained up as a Red Cross volunteer, that's another way as well, where you can find all the information on our regional website, redcross.org/car.
Jeffery Hornyak with the American Red Cross, West Virginia. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. And just as soon as the link is up, we will let folks know. Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it.
I appreciate the time today, guys.
Absolutely. 304-TALK, 304, the text line, 800-765-TALK, the phone number. Waiting on Governor Morrissey. He's expected to address the media with an update this morning. Looking at the YouTube page, still waiting on the governor there for the update. We'll have more as Talkline continues in a moment from the Cove Insurance Studios.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better. and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I kid my friend who just texted me, by the way, and said, no blanking cheese. You don't want him there because not everyone's going to have cheese. He's going to go up to everybody there and start turning over their carts. You are illegitimate.
Midday on Metro News Television.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $600 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $743 million. So go ahead, play today. Governor Morrissey going to be addressing the media this hour. Actually, well, I guess we're coming up on next hour almost. In Buchanan, Jeff Jenkins is following that. We'll check in with him. Alex Weiderspeil of Metro News headed to Upshur County this morning. We will check in with him as he is on the ground. He'll get us an update on the flooding response and recovery efforts there. Also scheduled to talk with West Virginia Wesleyan President Dr. James Moore. Wesleyan will be acting as a central distribution and collection site for donation items. And coming up in the second hour, we'll talk to the County Commission President in Lewis County, Agnes Queen, going to be joining us. Come on back for the second hour of Metro News Talkline as we continue our coverage of the storm response and recovery efforts. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel with you here on your latest forecast on a Thursday. Most of us are going to be dry today. Some impacts with some fog and then mostly sunny skies. Again, a breather of what's turning out to be a quite active summer for us with multiple rounds of these showers and storms. A lot of us in the state are going to be still recovering from that recent up to extreme rainfall event and all those swaths of damaging winds, all the water rescues, and looking at all the water levels in streams and rivers today, too, they're all below action stage as of this morning after the moderate to major to some locally historic flooding that occurred. So may still be some water rescues ongoing today. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Look in on folks as there may still be some issues with flooding after that recent round of some extreme rain that impacted the state. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Charlotte. Flood watch there today, high of 80. Some areas of eastern North Carolina will have a moderate risk of excessive rain down there today for flash flooding. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a quiet weather day today, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s and mid to upper 50s overnight tonight. Eastern Panhandle, highs approaching 80. A lot of upper 70s here. Quiet weather day today. Up in the high elevations, highs near 70. Lows in the ranks, the 50s, and quiet tonight. Across central and northern areas of the state, again, maybe a long recovery from all the up to historic river flooding that occurred, again, locally in some of our streams and rivers impacting some of our communities. We are dry today and tonight. Be mindful of some fog. And down to the south, there is a slight chance of some light to moderate rain showers down in southeastern areas, 72 in Bluefield, 81 in Huntington. For the weekend, we are generally dry, mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Slight chance of a shower Saturday. More likely chances of rain in the long term, Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You can always text us, 304-TALK-304. Still waiting on Governor Morrissey to get his news conference started with an update on flood recovery and response efforts in central West Virginia this morning. He is in Buchanan. Once he gets his news conference started, we'll get an update, hopefully, before the top of the hour from Jeff Jenkins. Also, Metro News reporter Alex Weiderspeil is on the ground, headed to Upshur County this morning, expecting to get an update from Alex. We'll also visit with West Virginia Wesleyan College. The campus has set up, or is being set up, as a central location for collection and distribution of donated items. We'll get an update from Wesleyan at the bottom of this hour. So lots to get to. Say good morning once again, TJ Meadows in the Encova Insurance Studios South. Morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. I just heard from the Red Cross, Dave, from Jeff while we were on break. And he neglected to mention, wanted us to get the word out that our friends at Huntington Bank, that we know well, Chad and the gang there, they are going to match gifts that are made to the Red Cross up to $25,000. So just an FYI that they're doing that. If you would like to donate, you can hop on the American Red Cross's website, their West Virginia website, or, of course, we're going to have a link coming on our station sites as well as the Metro News site soon. So just wanted to toss that out there, make sure folks are aware.
Let's get an update on what's happening in Lewis County this morning, where Lewis County is also, of course, dealing with high water and the after effects from that flooding from Tuesday's storms. Joining us on Metro News Talkline this morning is Lewis County Commission President Agnes Queen. Agnes, good morning. Thanks for taking some time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How are things in Lewis County this morning?
Busy. We're quite busy. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of meetings being held, a lot of people here trying to get things organized and get our community cleaned up.
So I believe you all just broke away from a meeting with state officials, local officials. What can you tell us? What came out of that meeting? What's your action plan for today?
So we have a lot of cleanup. A lot of things need to be done. We do have a donation location set up for anybody who would want to drop off supplies, cleaning supplies, non-perishable foods, baby formula, diapers, anything like that, cleaning supplies, that all can be dropped off at the Marketplace Mall in the old Kroger building right off of 33 and I-79. It's the former Kroger building, so it's a huge building, has plenty of room, plenty of access, easy on, easy off the interstate and Route 33. So we opened it yesterday, and it's been quite busy with people delivering things and people picking up supplies as well. We've also set up a location. We're going to start collecting debris here in the very near future. So we've been talking with the National Guard as well, getting those sites set up. We've signed contracts with a landowner to have the site. Of course, it's going to be manned, and only National Guard or designees can go to the site. So it's going to be a restricted site so that debris can be taken there.
Agnes Queen joining us, Lewis County Commission. What areas of the county have been hardest hit by the damage?
That's the hardest hits, of course, the city of Weston itself. Downtown Weston was pretty much totally underwater for the most part. Route 33 near Horner. We've had Copley area, southern part of the county, eastern part. We've pretty much got hit really hard throughout the county, but the massive amounts of flooding, of course, was downtown and Route 33 near Walmart, that eastern side of the county. And as our meetings today alluded, we do have multiple areas that were affected. We have a lot of roadways that were washed out, bridges, culverts. So we're working on trying to get some of those. Our Department of Highways is assessing the dangers. They're out looking. They know the areas, especially the trouble areas. We talked about those today with Department of Highways and what they're focusing on and how they're trying to get a lot of debris. It's got to be cleaned up before they can even start a lot of the construction that needs to be done. And it's not going to be an overnight process. So it's going to take us time, a lot of time to get things back to the way they were.
Any injuries? Is everyone accounted for? What, if any, news do you have in that department?
Luckily, we did not have any injuries or any fatalities. We had one of our guardsmen, I believe, may have had some heart pains, chest pains, that kind of thing, that had to be taken to a hospital. But other than that, nothing was reported as any injuries. We did have a tree fall on a gentleman during the storm when it was going on with the flooding, but he's okay. But he did get injured during a tree fall.
Talking to Agnes Queen, Lewis County Commission President, as the flood recovery and response efforts continue there in central West Virginia. First responders have been working around the clock. What has the support from outside the area? There's, of course, the local first responders, but outside the area, people have flooded in to help as well, firefighters from all over the state. What has that support meant?
It's been heartwarming. It's been, just to know that other people really care about your community and your people, and the amount of support that was sent here from other counties and the National Guard and the state of West Virginia has been amazing. And we can't thank those people enough. Our citizens seen it. They're happy. They're thrilled to know that other people care about them as well.
Take us back to the night of the incident. I was monitoring traffic on the scanner there, and all of the streets were flooded, obviously. Some of the boats weren't powerful enough to get out of the staging area. But as you listened to this, and I'm sure you did, what was going through your mind as you heard this unfolding? I mean, basically, you had directions being given. People were driving boats instead of driving cars to try to get the people.
Yes, it was scary. It was like surreal. This can't be happening. You never expect. The places that flooded have never flooded ever. Just to know, you would listen to them one after another. They were giving addresses to lists, not just one or two. They were lists of addresses of people that to be saved from their homes, from their vehicles. It was businesses. It was unbelievable, and it was just scary, the thought. And I was so scared we were going to lose people. I don't know how we didn't lose people, because there were a few cases where we were so close to people getting saved that it's a miracle that they were saved before they drowned. So I'm just so thankful that, we were able to save everyone.
Agnes Queen joining us, Lewis County Commission President, as the flood recovery response efforts continue there in central West Virginia this morning. Volunteers coming in from outside the area wanting to help out. Is there a central location they need to go to check in or get information?
Yeah, they need to contact us before they do that, because the National Guard is here and they're pretty strict on making sure they know who's here, what's happening. Right now, we've been kind of pushing people back because certain things had to be done before we could even start cleanup or anything like that. Assessments had to be done. They had to actually search yesterday to make sure we didn't lose anyone. There could have been somebody that was caught in the floodway that we didn't know, or people had to report if there were people missing. So that was done yesterday. So that would have been a recovery effort. So they had to do a grid search basically of our county within the flooded areas to make sure that by chance the cars didn't have somebody in them that we missed or that they didn't know was there. So that happened yesterday. And like I said, today is starting cleanup. Today we start cleanup. But we do have to have anybody that's interested in trying to volunteer or help. They need to contact us to make sure we have the proper procedures, and if we can even use them, tell you the truth, because in some cases, since the National Guard's here, they're in control.
So Agnes, obviously waiting on the governor, but I think the hope would be that we would appeal to the White House for a declaration of disaster in order to unlock FEMA dollars. What are you telling your citizens there in Lewis County as they start the cleanup? What should they be doing if they're thinking about the possibility of FEMA? Should they be taking pictures? What should they be doing as they're cleaning up?
Yes, I'm telling everybody to make sure, document everything, take pictures, and not only pictures, but videos, because nowadays you can doctor pictures easier than you can a video. So I'm telling them, please take videos, take pictures, document everything that you're doing. Make sure you have those lists together and keep that information, because we're going to need it. And also they need to do the QR code. There's a QR code out for each community, each county, and they need to fill that survey out that talks about the issues that they've had, the disaster, the things they've lost, that kind of thing. They need to do that, fill that out, and you can connect those pictures to this form. So we need to have everybody that was affected by the flooding to do that. And we've had a lot of businesses in our county that were affected as well. I mean, the amount of business is unbelievable. We've only got 2 areas of businesses that were not flooded. That was 2 that were high ground, basically. So the Marketplace Mall and the street across there, everything else, we've lost 2 grocery stores. The only 2 grocery stores we had in the county. So we have no grocery stores right now in our county.
Agnes Queen, Lewis County Commission President. Agnes, we appreciate the update this morning. Keep us posted, and our best to everybody there in Lewis County today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. Coming up, we'll check in with Alex Weiderspeil. He was headed to Upshur County this morning. We'll get an update from on the ground in Upshur County. Also, a little bit later on, we'll check in with West Virginia Wesleyan. The college campus is going to be a collection and distribution central point there in Buchanan. We'll get an update, and still waiting on the governor to start his news conference with an update from Buchanan this morning as well. Come on back as we continue our coverage of the flood recovery and response efforts in central West Virginia. Tornado over in the Mid-Ohio Valley. 2 tornadoes confirmed at least over in the Mid-Ohio Valley on Tuesday during those storms. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields and Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigado. See the players and program shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Some of the power numbers from Mon Power and First Energy. Remember, at one point, they were over 40,000 outages, or 40,000 customers out. That number is down to just over 4,700 this morning, and that's even down about 1,500 customers from earlier today when I checked. Now, TJ, as you well know, having worked in the industry for as long as you did, that last 4,000, 5,000 customers, that could be a slog when you've got to get out in some of these remote areas where access is still a bit of a problem here a couple of days after the storm system went through.
Those are always the hardest. They always are the most time-consuming. However, I was talking with some folks at First Energy this morning. I think they're going to have some good ETAs out later today about the Weston area, and it was looking good. Mm-hmm. So I tell you, they've been doing the Lord's work, and they've been doing a great job at it. Hats off to them and all their folks that are making it happen.
You know, just looking at the numbers, they must have just turned something back on in Doddridge County, because the numbers just dropped quickly there in the last 15 minutes. Doddridge, 800. Everybody's under 1,000 now. Lewis County still just under 1,000 out. Pleasance County, just under 1,000 customers still without power there. Upsher's at 3. I mean, Upshur is way down, 380 customers. That's down from well over a couple thousand. So line crews doing tremendous work over the last 48 hours.
Make sure you report your outage, too. Just the way these things work, don't take it for granted it's been reported. Make sure.
Metro News reporter Alex Weiderspeil has made his way south this morning. He is in Upshur County. By the way, Governor Morrissey's news conference is underway in Buchanan as well, but let's check in with Alex Weiderspeil this morning. Alex, good morning. Where are you?
I am just entering downtown Buchanan as we speak.
Set the scene. What's the scene look like there today?
So I will say downtown Buchanan looks better than I would have expected, though admittedly I'm not sure, having looked at the drone footage, I'm not entirely sure what the exact area that would have been underwater down here was, if there was any part of downtown Buchanan. So much of the town, just from that footage alone, looked like it was dealing with water issues Tuesday night into Wednesday. But it actually looks fairly normal here if you aren't totally accustomed to a few kind of oddball things where you're seeing, like there's a Fairmont fire cruiser that was here, And, obviously there have been support from other counties coming down here. A couple of other notes that I was noticing while I was driving on my way down here. You see, like, I passed the Walmart that was on Route 33, and the parking lot there looks kind of unrecognizable at the moment due to all the dried gunk and everything. And I'm still working my way through downtown Buchanan as we speak right now. But I will say the downtown portion does not look as bad as I would have expected, having seen what occurred here, like I said, via that drone footage a few days ago. But first impressions.
Metro News, Alex Weiderspeil in Buchanan. I think that's encouraging, Alex, because you never know what you're going to expect when you drive into one of these situations. You expect the worst, hope for the best, and it sounds like hoping for the best was the right model.
Yeah, I think, again, I'm going to have to, as I kind of told Jeff Jenkins today, I'm going to poke around and kind of explore a little bit and try to find some of the hardest hit areas. Because one of the things that you will see it'll be unmistakable when you get there. There will be debris piled up. There will be people who are trying to figure out what, if anything, is salvageable. That's unfortunately the nature of events like these. And having seen something like this in 2016, and I heard Bryan Hughes' report earlier on your show, and noted that the kind of the differences between these two events. It's remarkable how much rain fell here. 4.5 inches, and I was doing some research on this. I didn't really, 4.5 inches in less than 40 minutes. That's like close to 5 feet of snow equivalent, if you could imagine that amount of snow coming down in such a short period of time. As I'm closing in on the campus now, by the way.
How was the drive down? Yesterday you tried to get down to that area, didn't get very far. How was the drive down? How were the roads? What was that like? I will admit, a little bit surprised that 79, you really couldn't tell as if anything had occurred. And, of course, yesterday morning, slowly but surely, portions of 79 reopened. When I made my way to Clarksburg to the office there, exit 115 was as far as you could go. They opened that up to exit 105 where Lost Creek is. But 79 didn't look bad. 33, there are, I think, a few things that are noticeable. Stone Cold Creek still looks pretty high to me. Again, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I drive past Stone Cold Creek maybe 3 or 4 times a year. But I thought it looked high. I thought it still looked quite muddy. And again, that Walmart on 33, I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to be cleaning up there for a while. I probably will take a stop on my way back there just to get a few photos. Those were the most noticeable things. I did not see debris piled high, though, which, again, I'm going to take as an encouraging sign. How was the West Fork River? We were keeping an eye on that yesterday. It crested just under 18 feet there in Clarksburg, Alex. How was that situation? Sounds like it does sound like it was improving as the day went on, but I think that's essentially what I hit yesterday on Route 19. By the time I had gotten just into the Lost Creek area, it was essentially no longer passable. So as I understand it, much like the waters throughout much of the state, it is receding. Alex Weiderspeil is joining us, Metro News reporter. He is on the ground in Upshur County this morning. Over by West Virginia Wesleyan, that's become a central distribution point. Campus wasn't touched by any of the floodwater over there, from what I understand. Nothing that I've seen so far. And I am curious because it is such a large campus. We were talking about this on my show earlier today. So there are signs here for donations right in front of, it looks like, the circle where the chapel is. Just past that, I'm going to circle back here and talk to them a little bit in just a moment. But from what I can tell so far, campus looks fairly untouched, but that was the first sign that I saw for anything regarding donations. And, of course, that's going to be a huge and important hub for cleaning supplies. And I mentioned this earlier on my show, just going off of experience. The one thing I remember about this is whether you're someone dealing with cleanup of your own home or whether you are, and as I say this is perfectly timed, whether you're helping other people because you're in a position to do so, stay hydrated. I know it's not crazy hot right now, but if you're going to be doing that kind of work, you need to stay hydrated. That's why bottled water is so important right now. Alex Weiderspeil joining us, Metro News reporter on the ground in Upshur County. Alex, we appreciate the perspective, and we'll look forward to your reports later on.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Alex Weiderspeil on the road in Buchanan this morning as we speak. Governor Morrissey is talking to the media this hour. Jeff Jenkins will be back a little bit later on, give us a recap on Governor Morrissey's comments there in Buchanan. Also, got a statement from the mayor of Buchanan earlier this morning, Robbie Skinner, putting out some information. The centralized donation and supplies drop-off and location center is open at West Virginia Wesleyan College, asking that people access from the Chapel Oval off of Camden Avenue. Waste collection services and transfer station are open today, both running the trash collection service, and again, transfer station is open today. National Guard will be collecting the large debris at no cost to residents and business owners as well. They've secured a location to take the debris to, which we've talked about earlier this morning. Any and all volunteers wishing to help in cleanup efforts, please check in with the City of Buchanan Fire Department and the Upshur County Office of Emergency Management. That is from a release from Buchanan Mayor Robbie Skinner from earlier this morning. We'll talk to the president of West Virginia Wesleyan College, James Morris, going to join us coming up on the other side, or James Moore going to join us coming up on the other side of the news break. We'll get more on the response and recovery efforts in Central West Virginia as we continue after the storms on Tuesday. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel with you here on your latest forecast on a Thursday. Most of us are going to be dry today. Some impacts with some fog and then mostly sunny skies. Again, a breather of what's turning out to be a quite active summer for us with multiple rounds of these showers and storms. A lot of us in the state are going to be still recovering from that recent up to extreme rainfall event and all those swaths of damaging winds, all the water rescues, and looking at all the water levels in streams and rivers today too, they're all below action stage as of this morning after the moderate to major to some locally historic flooding that occurred. So may still be some water rescues ongoing today. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Look in on folks as there may still be some issues with flooding after that recent round of some extreme rain that impacted the state. Applies to your forecast. It starts at home. Charlotte, flood watch there today, high of 80. Some areas of eastern North Carolina will have a moderate risk of excessive rain down there today for flash flooding. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a quiet weather day today, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s and mid to upper 50s overnight tonight. Eastern Panhandle, highs approaching 80. A lot of upper 70s here. Quiet weather day today. Up in the high elevations, highs near 70. Lows in the ranks, the 50s, and quiet tonight. Across central and northern areas of the state, again, maybe a long recovery from all the up to historic river flooding that occurred, again, locally in some of our streams and rivers impacting some of our communities. We are dry today and tonight. Be mindful of some fog. And down to the south, there is a slight chance of some light to moderate rain showers down in southeastern areas, 72 in Bluefield, 81 in Huntington. For the weekend, we are generally dry, mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Slight chance of a shower Saturday. More likely chances of rain in the long term, Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigado. See the players and programs shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Governor Morrissey wrapping up his news briefing with the media. We'll get an update from Jeff Jenkins on what the governor had to say about 10 minutes from now. Joining us now is the president of West Virginia Wesleyan College, friend of the program, Dr. James Moore. Dr. Moore, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me on and for spreading the word about what we're dealing with down here and how we're tackling it.
Absolutely. We'll get to what's available and how West Virginia Wesleyan is stepping in. First of all, how's the West Virginia Wesleyan community this morning?
The West Virginia Wesleyan community is we're taking care of each other and showing up in a big way, and we're part of this Buchanan community. We're just. It's been as challenging as it's been the last couple of days. It's been really inspiring to see our community members in Buchanan and the Wesleyan community just taking care of each other. I always tell people that the best two parts of the name of our college is West Virginia, and we've been a part of this community for 135 years, going on 136, and we're gonna do everything we can to help our friends and neighbors. But people are taking care of each other, and it's challenging and it's devastating and also really inspiring at the same time.
What are you hearing from your own employees, faculty, et cetera, the college who have been affected?
Sure. We have a mix of folks who have been impacted. The primary people that have been impacted live in the general vicinity of campus and in Upshur County. Again, what we're hearing so far is some mixed reports. A lot of people in the immediate vicinity of campus had water intrusion into their basements and flooding into their homes. That's widespread here in the county. So our employees have certainly been impacted by the same kinds of challenges and issues that everybody in Upshur County and the surrounding counties have been impacted by.
President of West Virginia Wesleyan College, Dr. James Moore, joining us on MetroNews Talkline. How is the college responding to the flood recovery efforts this morning?
Sure. We, by the grace of God, the campus has been, we're operating fairly normally. We had water intrusion into the bottoms of a couple of buildings and certainly had some flooding near the river, but our perimeter is intact. We don't have any major damage at all. So that means that our role is really to step up and be a face for people that are looking for assistance. We are the primary location that's accepting supplies from individuals and aid organizations. We've been working with the city and the county to get communications out about that. That started today. We're housing those supplies in our auxiliary gym. We've made our main gym and a couple of other large spaces in our athletics complex available in case people need to shelter or temporary housing, because the county is dealing with folks who have been displaced. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. there will be a vaccination effort the county health department is running. That's going to happen on College Avenue. We're going to do a drive-in vaccination situation. Drive into the Oval in front of the administration building, get the vaccines you need, drive out. And so we're doing all those things. We are part of this community, so our campus is the community's resource in any way that we can serve.
When it comes to the supplies and what you are housing there, if I'm listening and I am in need, should I approach Wesleyan to get those supplies? Should I wait for someone to be in contact with me that will bring them to me? How is that working this morning as you get going?
I'll be candid. I don't want to give inaccurate information. That's still an evolving situation, and I don't have all the details of that. I'm don't mean to not answer your question, my friend, but I want to make sure I would be getting accurate information. So, not exactly sure, but I can tell you that, again, the city and the county and the college and all the aid organizations here in Upshur County are really unified in communication. So, folks should watch for communications from combined city and county authorities for information about how to get those supplies. I do want to emphasize that the supplies for folks who want to donate, the stuff we need the most of is always going to be water, cleaning supplies. Those are probably the most significant things that people can contribute to the effort.
Talking to Dr. James Moore, president of West Virginia Wesleyan College. Dr. Moore, how quickly or how easy was the decision to make the campus available and step up in this situation?
It's the easiest ask you ever have. It's the easiest ask ever for an institution like ours. I mean, as the rain was coming down Tuesday night, we were before the asks were made, we were already thinking through what spaces are we going to have to make sure we're protecting during the raining and the flooding to be able to serve the community. And then again, when we did our initial damage assessment and realized that we had been spared a lot of what could have happened, it was just a really easy thing for us to say, whatever we can do, we will do. And that's our role. That's our mission as a United Methodist affiliated institution, and as an institution of higher learning. So I get asked a lot of tough questions and have to make a lot of tough decisions. This wasn't one of them. This was easy for us to say yes to.
As this started and it's unfolding, James, how quickly did you realize that this was going to be one of the communities that got hit? I mean, and it was so specific to that area. Didn't really know where it was going to happen, where it was really going to unfold. How quickly did it become apparent to you as you're watching all this happen that, yeah, you're going to be in the thick of it?
I think it became apparent to us, and forgive me, I'm still trying to remember what day it is. I think today is Thursday. I believe, so Tuesday afternoon, evening, when this all started, I'd say around 8 o'clock, when the first real significant wave of rain and rising waters went through, and we got initial reports of water intrusion in spaces on campus at levels we hadn't seen in 40 years, we knew at that time that this was going to be significant. But certainly by about 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, we knew that we were in the middle of a huge disaster. We had people who were stranded on campus. Community theater members ended up spending the night in the Performing Arts Center on our campus because they couldn't get to their homes. Multiple employees were stranded and couldn't get to. Everybody was safe, but they couldn't get to their homes. They couldn't get to campus. So between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m., the whole thing came into pretty stark relief that we were in the middle of something that we hadn't seen since 1985.
The president of West Virginia Wesleyan College in Buchanan, Dr. James Moore. West Virginia Wesleyan is functioning as a central point for donations, for drop-off, and distribution. Dr. Moore, thank you so much for the update. We appreciate it, and our best to everybody there in Buchanan this morning.
Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you. Everyone stay safe out there.
You as well. Coming up, Jeff Jenkins will join us. He was monitoring Governor Morrissey's news conference in Buchanan this morning. We'll get the update from Jeff right after this.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniels Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Governor Morrissey in Buchanan this morning just wrapped up a news conference speaking with reporters there. MetroNews' Jeff Jenkins was monitoring. Jeff, good morning. What did the governor have to say?
Well, he did confirm that there are 2 people missing, unaccounted for. This is what he said about that.
We never want to be wrong in any of the numbers we come up with, but we're aware of at least 2 people who are unaccounted for.
All right, and he also added a little bit more to that they may have located a vehicle that the 2 may be in.
State police and is working in collaboration with the Guard and local individuals to try to get to a car that overturned. And so this is a very difficult recovery effort. And so I will say that there is a lot of effort that's being put in right now to try to get to that particular place.
All right. He didn't share where that was. So just being careful there, trying to give some information, but not, not kind of getting ahead of his skis, so to speak. And just, and also being careful because you really don't know. I mean, there's 2 they think are unaccounted for. Could be others. You just don't know yet. So, but we do know of 2 there that he did confirm in the media briefing. Said a couple other things, just did some other updates just on, encouraging folks to fill out those damage forms, and you can get that. You can go to the governor's office page or the Department of Homeland Security, Emergency Management. You can find those forms to fill out. Those assessment forms, damage assessment forms. Those are very important when it comes to FEMA and getting federal disaster assistance. FEMA is doing some on-ground work today there in that area of the state, according to the governor. And so we'll see where they get on that. He also talked about debris removal. And General Seward, the State Adjutant General Jim Seward was there and talked about the Guard. They're transitioning from search and rescue to debris removal, and just encouraging people to get that out on your road, and so they can pick it up.
We'll continue that effort over the next probably 10 to 14 days. So make sure that debris gets out to the right-of-way quickly, and we'll get that picked up.
And that was, he said a couple other things, but basically you got 500 Guard members there. And as the waters continue to go down, particularly in Upshur County, it looks like, and I know you had the county commission president from Upshur County on earlier today. She talked about that, most of the water, if not all of it, has receded. So I think, we'll start to get a little better idea of damage today.
Yeah. He talked about that overturned vehicle too. One of the takeaways, it's got to be safe for those people that are searching to be able to get to the vehicle, right. And they didn't feel there was a level of safety for the first responder. So you have to first make that safe before you can actually get to see what's inside.
Sounds
the
like
vehicle.
It's in wherever it is, it's in a tough area to access, to get to. And so, and we had heard yesterday when he had said, a source had told us that they had heard that 2 people, so that's kind of consistent from what we had heard yesterday. And hopefully they're, that maybe they'll come up somewhere, right? And there are no other victims too. So those are some of the things when you get into these flood events, these things start to, kind of uncover, as you get a couple of 3 days in, you really don't know the first couple of days the extent of damage. I think we know in Weston a lot more than we know in Upshur County because Weston, the water went down yesterday, guys, and you've seen the damage there. I think we'll keep learning more about Upshur County.
Jeff Jenkins from the Metro News newsroom. And Jeff, we were talking earlier, just trying to think of some of the, I don't want to compare disasters, but having covered some of these events throughout the years, I can't help but think maybe the timing of this helped prevent more missing persons or possibly more tragedies because it wasn't middle of the night, right? Those ones in the middle of the night are the ones that seem to be the worst when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah, it is. It is hard. It's hard to compare them.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, you're right. There's some, but the 2016 flood came in the afternoon, evening.
That's
and
true.
And just that little creek there in Greenbrier County there, and then the Meadow River over in Raynell, and it's just, I think a lot has to do with the topography, obviously, and the size of the rivers and just different things. It appears to me this, and if you see it just. And I don't want to say this in the wrong way because, of course, I'm not an expert at this, but you didn't see a lot of rushing water on some of these. This was just water coming up and coming up and coming up. I think in some of these, again, don't want to compare these, but in the 2016 flood, you had both of those. You had rushing water and you had water that was coming up. And that made it very difficult for some folks. But if you listen to the scanner the other night, quite honestly, there were scary rescues that took place.
It's interesting you talk about that timing, though. Joe Kinzer, who we've been talking to, sent me his ring cams, his ring doorbell cam, and they're time-stamped, obviously. And you see the water coming, and it did rise slower.
Yeah.
So you had some time. But unfortunately, some folks, it's probably going to stop. It'll be okay. Right. And then the next thing you know, it's so high that you're stuck.
You're just kind of stuck in your house. Yeah.
We'll have a story up at WVMetroNews.com soon.
We will. It will be. And then, yes.
I know you're fast, Jeff. I don't know if you were quite that fast. That thing just wrapped up a few minutes ago. Jeff, we appreciate the update. Thank you so much, buddy.
Sounds good.
Jeff Jenkins from the Metro News newsroom. We'll have an update over at the website as well, WVMetroNews.com. By the way, Adjutant General Seward is scheduled to be one of the guests on Metro News Midday coming up a little bit later on this afternoon. Got to take a break. Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
At the WVU Cancer Institute, our experts deliver personalized care for each patient with pancreatic cancer. We utilize innovative treatments and technology, backed by one of the nation's top 25 robotic surgery programs. From diagnosis and surgery to treatment and survivorship, we're here for you every step of the way. Call 855-WVU-CARE.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century. Jeffery.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniels.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then before I entered into congestive heart failure,
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're going to do public math, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win.
Just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down
Just
for
go.
8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it. There's the math. Just go.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $600 million. The Mega Millions jackpot is $743 million. So go ahead, play today. Also, want to remind you, CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now's the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust. Perfect for working from home, streaming, or gaming. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, citynet.net connects, protects, and perfects. A couple of things just to make sure to mention. If you are dropping off donations at West Virginia Wesleyan, passenger vehicles can go to the Camden Avenue Fountain. Commercial vehicles, like big trucks, can go to the loading zone at the auxiliary gym at the Rockefeller Center. If you see the KA fraternity, turn into the lot, follow to the gymnasium for those commercial vehicles. Accepting pet food, cleaning supplies, canned goods, and water. Drop-offs can be made from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wesleyan will also serve as a distribution point for those items. If you are volunteering and you are headed toward Upshur County, please check in with the Upshur County Office of Emergency Management or Lewis County Office of Emergency Management and the National Guard. They want to make certain they know who is where and what's going on in those locations. So if you are headed there to help out, shelter-in-place order in Buchanan has been lifted. Floodwaters have started to recede or have receded completely in most cases, and now the cleanup effort gets underway. Roads also passable. You heard Alex Weiderspeil there, TJ, a little bit earlier, said you drive down 79, you can't even tell anything really even happened a couple of days ago. So roads are passable. You can get into most of these areas now, and now the long process of cleaning up after the flood gets underway.
One of the things that sticks out to me that Agnes Queen noted, they don't have a grocery store that's open now because of this, I believe is what she said. And then I believe Alex alluded to the fact he thought it would be a long time coming for that Walmart to be back open on 33. I mean, this is real. And it's how, the trailing effects of these things. It takes time to bounce back. So I think the message is whether it's monetary, whether it's a donation of whatever cleaning supplies that you can, what we always do. It's time to help out and get people fed, get them cleaned up, and try to help them get their lives back as best we can.
We will have a link posted at wvmetronews.com. That is coming shortly. Donation link to the American Red Cross where you can make a financial donation to help out these communities, not just in Upshur and Lewis counties, but any of the counties that have been impacted by the storms, including Pleasants County. where a couple of tornadoes touched down on Tuesday as well. We'll have that link up at the website. Also, our friends at Huntington Banks, partnering with Metro News and American Red Cross, have graciously offered to match the donations up to $25,000 for the flood recovery efforts. So we'll have that link up at wvmetronews.com. Patrick tells me shortly that will be available. Also, I know some of our Metro News affiliates around the state. I know Morgantown is having a donation drive coming up on Monday. I think Charleston is having one on Friday. Tomorrow? Clarksburg's working on one as well. So I know many of our stations around the state also chipping in with donation drives coming up over the next several days as well to help the recovery efforts across the state. Metro News Midday, coming up on many of these same Metro News radio stations, will continue coverage of the flood response and recovery efforts, as well as those tornadoes that touched down over in the Ohio Valley. Also hit in parts of Doddridge County as well. That one tornado skipped, I am told, over into Doddridge County. General Seward will join them. Also, I believe they're going to get an update from the Department of Transportation as well as the show unfolds today. So you can give Amanda your full and undivided attention. You can give Dave Allen a little bit of attention. Don't give him too much. It goes to his head.
Even during natural disasters, you too, I swear.
Follow the news of the day. Keep up to date on the flood recovery and response efforts there in Central West Virginia over at the website wvmetronews.com. For intern Mila, Jake, and Ethan, and TJ, I'm Dave. Talk to you tomorrow at 10:06. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.